Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hello Hot Flash. I'm so excited to be here with my guest today. One, because she's super cool, and two, because she's from Ohio. OH.
I
All right, that's all we need.
I know that. Yes.
Show's over.
Aw.
Christy, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course. I'm super excited too.
So am I.
Yes.
So am I. Christie Duffy. She grew up on an island in Lake Erie called Put-in-Bay, and she lived there until just last year. She's an elementary school teacher by trade, and she turned into an entrepreneur, which we'll talk more about that today. She recently moved to Cleveland about a year ago and got married and began focusing on her organic skincare and remedies company, Your Only Earth. And before we end the conversation, we're going to talk about the exciting news that's going on with Your Only Earth and everything else that's going on with the business. So, welcome, Christy.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Hey, can you start by telling us a bit about yourself and what inspired you to start this organic skincare company?
Of course. Of course. So 20 years ago, I cannot believe it's been 20 years. I became sick. It was found out that I had high levels of mercury in my body. So they called it mercury poisoning 20 years ago. And I thought, what the heck is this? I've never heard of this. But I found a really great, open minded doctor, and he worked me through it all. And I guess I was experiencing such things as early menopause at age 30. I hadn't had a period in a year at that point. I was having the sleepless nights. I mean, everything was just bonkers in my body, and we didn't know what was going on. So it was with that journey of being ill, as it is in so many cases, right? We get ill, we get sick, something bad, quote unquote bad happens to us, and then that pivots us. So I started the pivot then, but then my oldest daughter also became sick, not with mercury toxicity, but with lots of different food allergies, and was determined she had a peptic ulcer as well. Trips to the Cleveland Clinic and then to a really neat doctor over in Indiana told me all about her illnesses. And it turned out I had to keep her away from so many different preservatives and ingredients and even fluoride in her toothpaste because she was allergic to these things. And I had never heard of any of this. And I thought, well, isn't fluoride good? Or isn't it's okay to have coloring in things, right? Well, no, it really isn't. So I got sick, then she got sick. And that's when I really pivoted because, as any mother would do, you kind of turn crazy when your kid's sick. And then I started researching, reading. I changed all of our chemical cleaners. Basically, I got rid of them. The food, of course, I started getting organic milk and different organic products. Had to order them online at that time and go to the mainland and seek out these alternative health food stores. It's so much more readily available now, thank goodness. But the last thing I did was my skin and body care. I thought, well, what are we using, right? What are we shampooing with? What am I cleansing my kids with? And I started using different quote unquote natural products. But then as time went on, I recognized that even those natural products weren't so natural after all. And then I started learning more. So 10 years into my quest of getting better, I called up my mom one night and I said, hey, whatever happened to the great grandma's healing salve? And this was a salve that we used on the island of Put-in-Bay while growing up. And this salve was good for basically everything.
Right.
It was for drawing out bee stings and cuts and soothing, when I got into a bike accident, get the grandma salve out. So because I knew that product had to be natural versus other different healing ointments and things I was using on my kiddos. So I made that one winter night, and it was actually in 2013, January of 2013. I made it and I gave it away to all my family members. And then I realized I could make other things and also control the ingredients, right? Just like I had great grandma's recipe, which was all natural ingredients. I could do other things too. And I was already growing lavender in my gardens. So then I made this little balm for my hands because of being a teacher at the time, washing, created that irritation and dryness. So then I made what we call lavender balm that second night and took it into school. The students loved it. And here we are 10 years later with 35 plus products. And that's how it started.
You're cutting edge because like 10 years ago, people were not into, they didn't, these conversations weren't happening. And
No.
if you were using grandma salve, you're thinking, oh my gosh, what's in that? It came from the dirt outside. It can't be
Yeah.
good for you. Well, now we know grandma and great grandma, they had it right. We had it wrong at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So part of what you were talking about, and folks may have heard this term before, endocrine disruptors. So, can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about, explain what endocrine disruptors are and how they've become a concern for us?
Yeah. So endocrine disruptors are unfortunately all over around us. They're
Mhm.
in our air, they're in our water sometimes. And it's basically the chemicals that have seeped into our world right now that can cause issues with hormones. So the endocrine system is like the organizer of hormones in our body. And when that gets messed with, when it has chemicals that mimic estrogen, for instance, which are in most of these chemicals that I can read off to you in a minute. They're called estrogen mimicking hormones.
Mhm.
And then that just causes havoc in our system. And so my doctor also discussed that with me at the time. And he talked about even milk at the time that my kids were drinking. We all thought milk was so great, right? And
Yeah.
so those cows were treated with hormones to make them produce more milk, which then my daughters were drinking, which I had been drinking. And so it's really crazy, but true. And yeah, I was kind of considered the crazy lady back when I started on this journey. My daughters now tell me I'm trending.
Yes, you are.
You're trending. I'm finally cool.
Finally.
I mean, it took me 20 years and I don't know. Again, like as any mom would do, you just seek out answers for your kiddo's health.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of escalated into what I got going on now.
Yeah. It's so I think a lot of times we think about, okay, we're going through menopause or perimenopause and we are can't sleep well, or we have low energy, tingling in our hands and feet, whatever those symptoms are. So immediately we think about food. Okay, maybe I need to change my diet a little bit or exercise. Maybe I need to either cut back on the strenuous exercise or start to, lift a little weights. We think about those two things, but we don't often think about what we put on our bodies and what we wash our hair with. I will see, and I'm guilty. I wear makeup, sometimes like for things like this, or if I have to go out somewhere, not every day, but I will wear makeup as well. We don't think about what goes on our body and how important that is. What are some of the common ingredients found in skincare products that are known or suspected as endocrine disruptors? Things that we may not have even been aware of.
Yes. Yes. So we've all heard of the parabens now, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
parabens are these nasty things. The problem that that is occurring is that now parabens are out, but other chemicals are now in, and those can even be worse.
Mm-hmm.
So things such as aluminum, formaldehyde, oxybenzone is the big one in sunscreens. And that's a really not good one. Anything with fragrance oils or fragrance or parfum or essence, all of those words, you got to really question that. And they're just not really good for you. The phenoxyethanol is another one that I'm seeing in a lot of so-called natural brands, and PEGs.
Mm-hmm.
And parabens are also called propylparabens, methylparabens. Here's the thing I say to everybody. So like right now, as they're listening to this podcast, go get something that you're putting on your body every day. Get your skincare, get a shampoo bottle, get whatever it is, and flip it over, take a look at the ingredients. And if you cannot pronounce that ingredient, that's a real like red flag. Meep, meep, meep. We talk about red flags all the time. Meep, hello. Get your phone out because we all have a phone now. We have a fancy phone with internet. And
Yeah.
I want you to do a quick Google search. It doesn't even take that long. And then just kind of decide for yourself. But my suggestion is if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't be putting it in on your body because it goes in your body. And then the biggest one I say to everybody is the first indicator of a product being maybe not the best product for you is what is it packaged in. So
Mm.
everybody take a look. This is going to be like the awakening that we're all getting. Open up your medicine cabinet, look at your little bag of skincare. Is it in plastic? Ah,
You know what? And sometimes you will think, oh, great ingredients, but not think about actually what it's packaged in. Yeah.
the plastics seep into our bodies through the container that it's in. It's crazy. I just read another study 2 days ago about how people are still microwaving plastic because they're safer. They call it safe plastic to microwave. There
Right.
is no such thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same goes for our skincare. So if the skincare is packaged in plastic and it gets on a truck, and that truck has to drive through really high heat, and it gets to the place where it needs to be, and it's in a warehouse, it's heated up, right?
Mhm.
So we all know that heating up plastic is the worst thing. That's known now. There are studies about plastic water bottles.
Right.
So no different with your skin and body care.
That's it. I'm so happy that you brought this up because again, there's a layered effect. So you have to do there's step by step by step what you need to do. And you can't just do one thing. Like I said before, you can't just eat well or exercise well. What other lifestyle factors do you believe play a role in achieving healthy skin?
So it is what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
What you eat
Yeah.
does, I mean, lots of eczemas. We see lots of people with eczema coming to us for help, and they do get help from one of our products.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I say to them is, what are you eating?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it could be an allergy response. It could be, like food elimination might have to be something that you try. Caffeine is also another one that can kind of aggravate. Sugars, of course, sugars, no, no. I am far from perfect when it comes to eating. I really do my best, but I still love ice cream. Gosh darn it. Why do they have to make ice cream taste so good?
I know, right?
Um, right? So for me, I think, what can I control easily? And what I can control very easily, and so can all the listeners. They really can. You can choose your skin and body care, and that's easy. Choose well. You're using it every single day, 365 days a year. It's going onto your body in some way. And that to me is the easiest thing we can shift.
Yeah,
It
I like
just is. And it's a part of the puzzle, like you said. It's not going to heal you overnight, right?
right,
It's a
right.
lot of things we got to do, but we can't forget this crucial step. That's what I think.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I had eczema, which I've never had in my life, about a couple weeks ago. Went to the dermatologist, but only for him to confirm so that I could come home and, whip up some magic. But like
Yeah.
within, I mean, 3 minutes of being in there, kid you not, I'm not exaggerating. He had me on two different steroids. I'm thinking,
Yep.
okay, go ahead and write the script because I'm not taking. I was getting ready to argue with him, but I decided not to. And I love
Yeah.
my dermatologist. I appreciate the doctors and the medical advice that they give, but often, just like you said, there's a root cause to what is going on in our bodies. And for me, that root cause at this point were nuts. I was like killing pistachios and so forth. I did some elimination, nuts and avocados, did some elimination, started working with an all natural product. And then the eczema went away in like 2 days. It's
Uh,
incredible what that can do. Which one of your products support eczema relief?
so the lavender balm, this little
Mm.
guy here. This is so amazing. And it's the second product I ever made. I was telling you the story about my dry hands as
Yes.
being a teacher. They were cracked and red and itchy. And so that was really made for dry hands, but because of its healing properties of the lavender plant that's inside, as well as shea butters, coconut oil, vitamin E, pardon me, we learned that it's also great on eczema. And I learned that from one of my former students who's now in college. Actually, she might be graduating from college this coming year, but she started using it and she said, Miss Christie, I don't have to use my eczema cream anymore. And so she buys the big jars of it. I mean, yeah. Oh, it's so wonderful. And then we've had other, people on our website write into us and tell us, and people that we've met. And yeah, it's really great that it can help with that.
It is. So we're in
Yeah.
a Western society and we think medicine, only a steroid can heal eczema or some other type of drug or injection. Talk to us a little bit about the role that scientific research plays in the development of your products and how do you balance that traditional knowledge and the with modern scientific advancements?
So I feel that we just have to get back to basics. I
Mm,
feel like we're so dead set on these chemical preservatives. because, and here's the reason why. In chemistry, when you add water to an oil and you blend it and you mix it and you whip it all up and you make a great little cream for your face,
Right.
the water that we've added to that is messing it up, right? Anytime you add water, you're going to have bacteria and mold and different things grow. So my thought is, why are we even adding the water? Why do we have to have this whippy feeling thing for our skin? Well, that to me was because companies years ago wanted to make more money. So by adding water to a product, it makes the jar look bigger and they can charge more. And we like that. We've been trained to think that's what we should have.
Right.
But if you go back to great grandma, in different cultures all around the world, they use different oils and butters and things like that. So if you were Italian, you might have used a lot of olive oil, because we were using olives. And if the shea butter was from the shea nut in Africa, so you may have used more of that. Or if you're over in Hawaii, you've got the kukui nut. So different places around the world had different, healing oils and things that they used. So why not use that knowledge and just rethink how we're using skin and making and creating skin and body care. So I feel like it's just money driven,
Yeah.
quite honestly. And we already have ways to make skin and body care products organically without the use of preservatives. If we educate people on how to use them properly, how to store them properly, it just takes a little bit of a switch in our brain, is really all it is.
It is. It is. That's very true because when I approach people like that, they automatically think, that you're woo woo or
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're coming up with some like spiritual concoction. I'm like, it's lavender, folks. It's geranium. It's just so yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It's that switch that we need to make in our mind. And you may have already answered this, but can you think of any other misconceptions about holistic skincare that you'd like to clarify with our listeners?
I think one of the other misconceptions, well, some people are fearful. They
Mm,
are fearful because I'm not, there's no stamp of approval by the FDA, let's say. But actually, the FDA doesn't really give a stamp of approval to anybody's skincare. They just tell you how you have to show your ingredients and things like that. That's where the FDA comes in. But it's not like we all need a stamp of approval. It's weird, right? Or because I'm not on a big store shelf, they're not, oh, I'm not sure about that, things like that. I think they're fearful. And it's also just convenience. I
yeah.
asked this question recently when I did a presentation, and I said to the ladies, I said, so tell me why you're still using those traditional products and maybe why you're apprehensive. Well, they're not apprehensive after they've talked with me and we have this great, this understanding and learning. But the hands went up and they said, it's just convenience. It's
Mhm.
easy to go to a big box store and buy bulk of whatever soap, right?
Right.
Instead of seeking out people like myself who are doing it, in my opinion, correctly, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that's what it is. I think it's just convenience, but and that's kind of like the excuse for food, right?
Right.
It,
I was just thinking that in my
yeah,
mind. And that convenience is killing us. The
it
convenience
is.
around food, the convenience about what you put on your skin and your body. When I was going through perimenopause, I was having a lot of hair loss, front and back, especially on the left side. And it was convenience. It's like, oh, it's going to take what, 5 to 10 minutes to actually make my own shampoo, or or I can just buy a bunch of shampoo and keep using it. So I had to figure out that it was more important that I took that time out for myself, and in order to start making my own products and to start using products like yours, which I'm so happy I found you and you're Ohio based because I'm always trying to find a really good solid product for those days when I want convenience because you are
Yes.
offering convenience to folks as
I
well.
was just going to say that I actually
Yes,
provide a good
you
convenience for you all.
you
I
are.
feel as though I mean, you can buy the products from me. You can get them on subscription basis. We do all the fancy stuff that the big Amazon does, and we give great discounts. And I'm available. I love it when people email me or text me about questions. Hey, this isn't working, or this is working, or hey, how much do I use of this? I love that. And I really have created a little company where you can get into your bathroom and replace all of the products you're using in your bathroom on a daily basis with
Mhm,
my stuff
mhm.
from head to toe.
Yeah.
I've just created a very simple between the soaps and the lavender balm and the skincare, super and deodorant and dry shampoos, just everything that you need every day in a super easy formula. And I just feel like, I don't know, I have created convenience because
Yeah,
I was a super busy mother and I didn't want a 10-step skincare system. So I have a 3-step skincare system, you
yeah.
know?
I so appreciate that. I also appreciate before we came on, I didn't realize that you are doing each product by hand. So that
Yes.
love and that passion that goes into making the products, knowing where they come from, knowing that one person is in charge of controlling what is going on behind the scenes. I think that that adds another layer of comfort in someone wanting to use your products and start to try the products.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. And it's very true. I really do love, love, love. I say I love making things. I was telling you before we got on, that it's the baking without calories. I
Yes.
used to love to bake. I love the chemistry behind baking. I love the measuring, the preciseness of it, the stirring of it, the pouring of it. I love it.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
for the audience, I'm so excited. Christie has offered to give away a gift in the month of
Yeah.
November. So I am going to have you guys in the show notes. I'll have a link to how you can register to get some of her products for free. Yay! Thank you so much.
Yay.
She was gracious enough to send me some amazing products as well. So I so appreciate that, Christie. And the fact that you want to give back so people can try it.
Yes.
A lot of people that's part of it, like their initial reaction, maybe I don't know if I want to buy it or I'm not. And so now you have an opportunity to win some, see how
Yes.
wonderful it is, and then you can get on subscription base. That would be awesome.
And I say this and I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. If you don't want to use my products, please just be careful and be cautious and educate yourself about the products that you are using. I really mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I had a friend recently send me a picture of the back of a product that she was using. She said, "Hey, Christie, is this okay? Are these ingredients all right?" And I said, "You got it, girl." And then it's in glass. And I said, Yay. I mean, so it's different. I'm like, yay, I'm okay with you know, just be smarter. I want everybody to be healthier. I really, really believe that if we were healthier as a collective, we would all be feeling better. We wouldn't be having the hatred and the wars. And I could go crazy on that topic. But I mean, I just want people to feel better.
I know. And so, everyone, this is how awesome the product is. Christie has an announcement to make. Has a recent collaboration with who's your collaboration with?
I know, kind of exciting. So the MTV Movie and TV Awards in May of 2024, we were asked to be a sponsor. So our products are going to be in the hands of 50 celebrities and 10 media outlets. I'm not really sure who exactly, but I guess it's the winners and things. They put together those swag bags.
Yeah.
And so our products will be in those swag bags of the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Yeah, very exciting.
No, I got your email. I'm like, I was telling Christie before we came on, I'm like, I was talking to a friend on, and I know someone who's going to have their products in the MTV swag bag. So this is
Yeah, it's
so
kind of cool.
amazing. And I love that you're from Ohio. That makes it even better. And only like an hour away from where I live. So
I
that's
know, that's so cool.
yeah, it is. It is so cool. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the work that you've done.
Thank you.
I'm proud of the fact that you cared enough to start making a product that people can trust, that people can use, that can help people not only look better, but actually feel better too. Because what we want to get across here is just changing your skincare product can help your body when you're in perimenopause or at any other time, help you with some of the symptoms you may be having, because you may not even realize some of them may be related to the shampoo, the makeup, the lotions, and
Yep.
the different oils that you're putting on your body. Because if you ever, a challenge to folks that are listening, take all the ingredients that you use in a day, just sit them out on a
Yes.
counter and read through every single label. You would be amazed at how many different products you put in your body. And you mentioned fragrance before. I think I have this story right. Coco Chanel, I think 50s or 60s, had a secret ingredient that they didn't want people to know. So they were able to petition legislators and they were able to wrap their secret ingredient in the word fragrance. And the way that it's worded allows other folks to do the same. So when you see fragrance, it doesn't mean lavender. It means
Oh,
whatever they want to hide from you that will make
you're
it smell good to draw you in. So that yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You
It's
got it. You
scary.
got it.
That's
And
so
it is scary that we're allowed to do that.
yeah.
So that when you see those words, or essence is another one, right? You think
Yeah.
essence is so beautiful.
I know.
That's a great thing I want in my body. But what is it?
Perfume.
Yeah, parfum, right? Well, I was one of those girls in my teen years and my early 20s. I was all over those fancy makeup counters at the mall. I loved that stuff. I thought I was so up and coming, I just used all these fancy things. But yeah, if nothing else, just take a look at what you've got, make wiser decisions, maybe trade out just one thing, maybe just your shampoo. Try using a bar shampoo to wash your hair. I am completely now I've transitioned only to I use my soap on my hair and my body only. I have gotten rid of all shampoos. My hair feels greater than even my daughter, when I hadn't seen her, she's in the Navy, and she came home. She said, "Mom, your hair is so full." I said, "Well, that's because I'm using my soaps." And it's the that took me a long time. I was still using like natural shampoos, but I just couldn't get over the fact that there was still that plastic bottle, and some of those ingredients were still suspicious to me. And so I made the transition, and yay.
Yay. Yay for you. Yay for us.
I want everybody. Yes.
Yeah. I'm ending with a new question starting this month. What are you reading or listening to right now?
I know. So I read lots of things. I actually brought the books with me because
Okay.
I have a stack. I have one. Okay, so this is Worthy. Boost Your Self-Worth to Grow Your Net Worth by Nancy. I think it's Levin, Levin.
Okay.
I'm all about self-care, self-love, because I've been on that journey too. It's Not Your Money, Tosha Silver.
Okay.
I love her. Living Untethered by Michael Singer. The Wisdom of the Enneagram.
All right.
And yeah, books are all over my house. It's pretty bad. I might have a little book addiction. And then I love podcasts. I've been listening to you, and I've been listening, of course, I love my Glennon Doyle, We Can Do Hard Things, This American Life. Um, the other one with the brain, what's the Hidden Brain? I love the Hidden Brain podcast.
Good one.
Yeah. So yeah.
I love that. And I'm the same exact way. People ask me where I'm like, well, let me go upstairs and find a couple books, and then I'll go in my bedroom and find
Yeah.
one, and then I'll come in the
Uh-huh.
office. That's what I'm reading. I kind of can't read one book at a time.
I can't either. I don't know how people can do that. I've just whatever oh, and I've got Herbal Magic. I forgot, oh, of course, Herbal Magic. Yeah, I love it. And I'm always playing music too. Whenever I'm in my lab, I've got some music playing. Oh, I love music.
Too. Awesome. So thank you, Christy, so much for being a part of the show. Thank you very much for the gift that you're going to give to one of our listeners.
Yes, you're
And
welcome.
can you tell us, please, how we can find you?
Yeah. Youronlyearth.com. I'm
That's
there.
all right.
Yeah, youronlyearth.com. Super easy.
Yeah, I will make sure that that goes in the show notes. Thanks once again for joining us this morning.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Hello Hot Flash, where we help you control the midlife change. Make sure to check out the show notes to find links to subjects we covered today. And if you want to discover how to balance your hormones, sleep better, and have more energy and manage your weight, take the quiz on HelloHotFlash.com. It only takes 90 seconds. Everyone, here's to your health.